like a soldier. You never betrayed our motherland. Your legacy lives on. You are a gallant soldier, a fervent soldier, benevolent soldier. My brother, you will live on. Because you will live on.
Unto man to die on such ones. It is the way you die. It is the way you exit the stage.
The sudden death is unbearable. I feel pain from my innermost heart. You just have to say goodbye, my hero.
You left us, but you leave us. On our bogo, ante pala Biafra. Njiji, alajuroye. Iya inurta, ESN commander. Umundera yanye, konsamwala. You are innocent, you offended nobody, but they choose to keep you. You offended nobody, but they choose to keep you. Because of your death, we remember.
As Biafrans mourn you, the whole world mourns you too.
It truly pains my heart that you are no more. The shock can never go out from my heart that you are no more. Continue fighting.
Your sacrifices will never be forgotten. We will get there. Reincarnate soon.
And the council will be avenged without apologies to any idiot wherever in the world. And the work is ongoing with that effect. And we're not going to stop until the heads are complete. 2,000 of them.
Hello, fellow Biafrans. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's afternoon already here. Sorry, it's 12 p.m. here in Veneto. My name is Ikapibike, and I want to welcome every one of us. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being part of this wonderful program. And I want to, first of all, say it's been a very long time. We haven't come board, but we say here today. And I want to bring in Mazi Solomon Peter. Mazi Solomon, are you there? Welcome to the program.
Yes, can you hear me clearly from my end here?
100%.
Can you hear me clearly?
100%,
okay.
Solomon.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening from my end here. Time here is 2 minutes past 8 p.m. So I welcome Biafran at the world. I welcome all our viewers. I welcome IPOP family all over the world. I also welcome the lovers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the haters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Lovers of freedoms, you are welcome into this very program this very evening. It is very important you follow and listen to this very program because it is very, very important. In the era of trying to give instruction to our people, we have passed beyond gathering like the people who are into social club or the gathering that you see that happens in the name of one community or the other. We are now in the era in which every one of us has to be very have to pay attention to, because every one of us at this very stage is the chief security of his or her own life. Self-defense has already been attempted. War has been declared over Biafrans, and so many things will be happening, and we have already started getting the information and getting also the video clips of actions that Nigeria has swapped in against Biafrans, and also, as we had in the history, and history is repeating itself, that during the slave trade, it is our own people, by the help of our own people, that so many of our people, even the best among us, were sold into slavery. And sometimes again, some people, they came to claim that they are the one, their forefathers are the one who has sold their brothers into slavery. Then it is playing in our own eyes these very days that those who are supposed to be called our brothers, who we grow up with, who should we eat for? Eat the brothers and sisters that we actually life to ensure the liberations of their life, to ensure they are set free, they have better life. They are the one that are actually now working very, very hard to ensure that those people who has an awakening to challenge the modern slavery that is going on, that they are the one now working very, very hard. Our people who are defending and who are actually demanding and asking questions, that their house were appointed, and their areas were appointed and shown by Nigerian police and army, as you can watch in the video, that some of our people are the one leading now, point out the house which they suspect to be the house of IPOP members, and the house, the business place which they're supposed to be IPOP members. They are the one leading. Watch the video you are looking at now in this platform. You can see the guy in the white shirt. He is a Biafran, an Igbo man, who are actually directing the military to the houses which he felt to be of IPOP business, which they felt had been the IPOP, or the area which they have been that an IPOP person is. So it is real that what we are told, that our people were the one inspired with the white to sell most of our reasonable people into slavery. So it's playing in our own eyes at this very moment. But we cannot, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has instructed us, that this is not time to cry. This is not time to cry. We are not crying anymore. We are only here to ensure that Biafran is restored. So, and we are making sure that we need to do as to make Biafran restored. Thank you so much, Mazi Patrick. I wish our people will share this because it's very, very important. This very evening, we will be playing the clip of the last broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was given 14 days countdown of 14 days before we come into full force into defending our land. We are very, very sorry, and we are very, very at this very moment that there will be high casualty. There will be some collaterals, but that is just the process of life. That is just the process of life. We have to have a bold heart. We have to have a strong mind to face the challenges which are going to face us. So it's very, very important that every one of us has to be bold enough to face the challenges. But as we play his broadcast, we are
Yes.
going to analyze one or two things, and it makes our people to understand exactly what Mazi have said and the instruction given. Thank you.
Yeah, Mazi, let's take the clip. The last broadcast that Mazi Namdekano gave, and he gave 14 days, understanding that definitely the enemies are coming down to Biafra land, and we have to stand up to them and defend ourselves. Take this clip, Mazi Solomon.
Let anybody say it not warn them, because things are going to start happening in the next 14 days. When it starts happening, if Lefus may talk and yab and right there, but now that the Fulanis are kidnapping our people, scaring us, killing people in truckloads, nobody's talking. We must make our land impregnable for them, and that will involve a lot of destruction. I'm saying it live on air so that all of you will understand. To slow the advance down, we need to destroy a lot of things. We must destroy a lot of things. That is how all of you will come to your senses to understand that we are in a state of war. They want to circle us. They are using the flavors amongst us to try to be, assuaging your, should I say, your bruised egos, all of you, writing rubbish at one leg. We are in a state of war. They've not declared it, but we are in a state of war. Very many years ago, I told you something that has come to life this very day. That in time to come, that the Janjaweed will come into our land. And they have come. We are in a state of war. Every scientist, everybody must come up now to begin to prepare. We are going to dig our trenches. We are going to amass everything that we have built so far to prepare to repel the invaders. So in the coming weeks and months, men and women are going to die. After that, Biafra shall be restored. China have agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria. They have also signed an agreement to supply Nigeria with weapons. The Nigerian government free hand terror groups to fight this very before. Al-Shabaab, they are around Lagos, they are the ones to lead the attack against the government. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda in Nigeria are advancing through Benin. They will enter to be from there. And they will. Whereas the main program step by this same government, they are all over the world. They are against the party that come from Mount. That's like because I always them and Allah is the Fulani have come to take over our land, and we have said to them that they are not going to do it. We are not going to allow them to do not now, not tomorrow, whatever. And the sooner they understand is the better for everybody. Because one thing that the Janjaweed must do is this regulation of IPU government to allow this kind of Nigeria will die in Biafra land.
Mazi, before we return back to the broadcast of our leader Mazi Namdekano, we've been able to pick some points, and we had the Inspector General of Police giving order that the fact that they should not mind any form of human right considerations, that in fact they should just start killing people without, you know, Mazi Solomon, have the war been declared already? Your audio, we cannot hear you. Okay,
the
go
messenger.
ahead.
Can
Yeah,
you
go
check
ahead.
on?
Yeah,
Can you check? Can you check
Yeah,
now
go
on
ahead.
your messenger, please? Mazipat, you must observe the gap in between the transmission, so that we will not be clashing with our statements. Okay.
Yeah,
So
Mazi, I
now
can hear you. Yes.
go to the messenger, and you quoted what the IG of police and his statement. One, he said, no one. One, he said, Mazi, Pat, please can, because this very system you are using, there is gap in the transmission. So we have to be waiting each other so that our word will not be clashing. So the IG of police says media should not be minded, that nobody should mind media, that the police in operation should not mind media, whatever things they see in media or whatever things happen in the media, that they should not mind it. So whatever pictures of offense that they are committing that they see in the media, that they should not mind it, that before anything happen, it will come to his table. He said we should mind any human right violation. They should go ahead, shoot aside, deal with whosoever that is being suspected to be a Biafran or to be an IPOP member or ESN member. They should kill them. They should go ahead and carry all his instruction to letter. Go into the civil society where civilians are living, shoot whosoever you see, kill whosoever you see, and let them know that the IG of police has sent them to do that. So this is a completely war declaration. They have declared war against Biafrans, against the people of the Southeast, against the people of the called South, against the people that are called Southerners. Now watch this video. The operation has started. This is a policeman through the fence trying to jump into the house of people they suspected to be IPOP members and to be Biafrans. So for you to know that he has started, so you have to be aware. And then you have played the voice of our leader in his last broadcast, which are more of instructive, trying to give informations and give instructions to Biafrans as per what will be coming up in these days that we are living. And he has started. You have seen it. They are in operation in somebody's house. That is somebody's family home, and they are breaking into it, shooting through the windows and through the door without minding who is inside and who is the gun gonna touch. Even if it's a baby of 1 month, they don't care. Even if it is children that are in the house, they don't care. All they do is to come into the house of people they suspected, and they will start shooting. And this is what is going to be happening in all over Biafran land from this moment. So we have to pay attention very well to instructions that are being given. You have to listen more to Radio Biafra, because from there you will be getting a lot of information. You have to try and buy data, listen to Biafran's programs, so you can be getting information. Please go to media often, get informations of where things are happening, so you will be able to manage and organize your movement. Very, very important. Mazi in his broadcast said that a lot of us is going to die in these very coming days. I don't know who. It might be me, it might be you. But I will be stating to you, as this program continue, I will be stating to you people who stand the high risk of passing to the other side in these coming days. I will be letting you to know, and who will also be playing to you the instructions that and the clarifications that was made in Radio Biafra by Mazi Chinasamuru, and some of the revelation he made to the Biafrans, and the instructions, and they also like eyes opening for you to understand things, and where you need to be and where you don't need to be at this very period, at this time when things is happening all over the land, when that darkness that we have been preaching about have descended upon the Biafran land. So, and for us to be able to skate through, we must yield to instructions and directions. We must tune to our radio. We must tune to Biafran programs, so you will be educated, so you will be told what to do. That is very, very important. Then last time I was in this program of BTV, and I stated that the fear of death has been the reason why the whole human race were subdued under bondage. People were not moving. People were not saying truth today because they fear death. People were not standing up for truth because they fear death. People are not even coming out for a good cause because they fear death. A lot of men and women are compromising because of fear of death. Things were not moving on in the country where some people are because people who will make things to move forward, they are afraid of death. Everywhere, for the cause of the fear of death, people, the good people, keep quiet. They refuse to do nothing because they fear for death. And then I made it clear in that very program that this death that we are afraid has already been swallowed into victory. That our life is as a seed. If you sow your life in a good cause, then move on. The death is conquered. That is how American got their independence, because some men sold their life into a good cause and they fear no death. And the American got their independence and they got their prosperity. And so many nations have done the same because they saw their life, they sold their life as a seed into a good cause, and they move on without fear of death because death has been swallowed up into victory. And how do you, in your personal life, day by day life, overcome death? Now the scripture say, count it all joy when you pass through the persecutions, as you are right now in the prison, being harassed by police, being intimidated. Count it all joy that you are privileged to be among the people who stand up to fight for your nation, and that is a good cause. Once your life is so in that very good cause, to swallow death into victory, you need to count everything, persecutions, every pain you are going through. So many of us are right now, for months and for years, have not had sex just because we want our nation to be restored. Some are not eating normal because they are fighting for their nation to be restored. Some of us have not give to marriage because we are standing up to ensure that the challenges in our generations is being taken care of, fighting for our nation. So many of us, our movement has been restricted, and so many of us cannot even go to the normal job or normal business because they have sold their life into this very cause and they are passing through the persecution. Now to swallow death into victory, count it all joy that you are counted among the people, that you are found among the people who were standing up for this very cause. It's not an easy task. Today, people can go to church and give testimony, praise the Lord, and they say the Lord have done it. The Lord has done it in the blood of people who lay down their life. Because this Christianity you are enjoying and the religion you are enjoying could have been missing in this generation, if not that people like Peter, people like Paul, they sold their life into the good cause and they died for it. And today you can have pastors who are flying with jet. This is on the blood of the blood of the gallant soldiers of the cross who laid their life for this very cause. They never fly. They never fly in airplane, on the aircraft. They never fly, but they lay down their life. Their blood were splitted, and they die like there is no God. But today, the story is different. So many people, for that fight, for that courage of those earlier apostles and disciples, now they are riding on aircraft. They are having millions auditoriums. They are counting in millions. But there was a time that men needed to face death face to face, and they count it all joy to be partaker of that very cup. So what I'm telling you today, no matter what you are suffering for being a Biafran, then count it all joy. That is how death are being swallowed into victory. Count it that you are privileged. Count it that you are among the heroes, that we are found to take up this challenge, to take up this challenge. So that is how in your day by day, you will be able to swallow death into victory. Into victory. Count it joy when you pass through the persecution, when you are being tortured in the cell, when you are being tortured by the police or by the army, when you are being punished for this cause. The Bible said, for death to be swallowed into victory, count it all joy. Count it all joy, because the upcoming generations will not be maltreated the way you are being maltreated. So count it all joy that your generation that is coming will not suffer what you are suffering. So count it all joy. That is how death are swallowed into victory. I want you to read the account of Stephen in the Acts of Apostle. He was being stoned. He was being condemned to death, but he counted it all joy. And there was a smile on his face. Even when that execution was happening to him, he kept smiling. He kept smiling. And by his smile, the Bible said the host of heaven opened for him. Glory come down. Though it is a painful death, but he counted it all joy. So you need to count everything that is happening to you by as the reason of standing up for Biafra. You need to count it as all joy, because the glory that will appear after this you are suffering can never be measured with the persecution, with the suffering, and the pain you went through at this very moment. This is my word to all Biafrans. Thank you so much for listening to me. Then I have to dive into the broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as he instructed Biafran on the countdown of 14 days. Now listen attentively. He said that so many of us is going to die now at this very period, and at the end, Biafra will come. Now I want to highlight to you that at this very moment, people will die. And who are those people who stand the risk of dying at this moment? One of them are the informants, those people who are going around pointing hands, pointing accusing fingers to family, to IPOP family members, to family house, and pointing accusing fingers to people they perceive their enemies, and they are Biafrans. and engaging into that very activity. I show you. When you point one finger on people, 3 fingers point at you, and the one point on the person that you can never see. You have to be very careful, because you stand risk of dying in this very revolution time. If you are the one that are being used as an informant, you stand the high risk of dying in this revolution period. Now, listen again. To some people, you watch people who has chosen and touring the path that I am trying to explain. Watch one man with white clothes. He has chosen to be an informant, and he stand the risk, the high risk. I mean, 100 plus high risk of going down in this very moment. So Mazi said, many will die. Many of us will die. And who are they? There is people that have been recruited into the security of David Umai, called Ebubagu. And these people are being used against Biafrans. They are in Abon State today, burning the house, joining forces with the group of police, Nigerian police, who seems to be terrorists, because they are terrorizing the communities. They are keeping Nigeria one by the bullet, by killing, by destroying houses. And that is how they are keeping Nigeria one. They never try to keep Nigeria one by building modern hospital, modern health care. They have not kept Nigeria implementing the promises that the politician made before they assume offices. They have not implemented their promises as to be their contribution to keep Nigeria one. But they are keeping Nigeria one by killing the indigenous people, by harassing the populous civilians, going into civilians' camp and civilian villages, shooting gun, killing both little children, even the mother and father, in the front of their daughters and children, making them to go through that very trauma. That is how they want to keep Nigeria one. They never keep Nigeria one by building the road. All the road in Nigeria, it is like a death trap. They never struggle to keep Nigeria one by creating a road network, by trying to build the federal road that connects to different states. So most of them are death traps, potholes every day, potholes everywhere. They never see to keep Nigeria one by it. Our school system is broken. Children are out of class and out of school because their teachers have refused. They have refused to pay the teachers, and the strike here and there. Labor are in strike in Kaduna, and they are coming to even to stop their protest by shooting. That is how they want to keep Nigeria one. So many workers in Nigeria have not been paid in the past 6 months. Even the police that they are using, they are still owing a lot of them. They are owing a lot of them, or their allowances. That is how they want to keep Nigeria one. They never want to keep Nigeria one by creating job for the youth, creating job opportunity. They never want to keep Nigeria one by that. Buhari come and make promises to Nigeria, APC government. They never wanted to keep Nigeria one by implementing their promises. Rather, he's asking the people, where am I going to get the money? Now, we need to understand that the only path they have chosen in keeping Nigeria one is by shooting people, by killing people, by militarizing all communities and the civilian populated areas. This is how they want to keep one Nigeria. So it is happening now, and I want to tell you, Ebubago have joined, David Umai have commissioned or deployed his Ebubago into burning the houses of people they suspected to be IPOP family or perceived enemies of his political ambition. So This is what is happening, and it has also extended to Enugu State. It has been happening in Imo. It's happening in Anambra State, in River State, in all over the states in the old eastern region, known as a Biafran land.
Press
This is
briefing
what
by
is
the
going on.
PDP Ebonyi State Caucus
And
of the National Assembly on the deteriorating security situation in Ebonyi State today, the 18th day of May 2021. We, the undersigned, who are serving members of the National Assembly, wish to draw the attention of the relevant security agencies in the country to the deteriorating security situation in Ebonyi State, occasioned by the indiscriminate arming of known cultists and agents of the Ebonyi State government. 1. As lawmakers and responsible citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we are alarmed and concerned by the senseless killing of security personnel in the lawful discharge of their duties. This situation has been further compounded in Ebonyi State by the wide-scale distribution of pump action and AK-47 rifles and ammunition to young men throughout the 13 local government areas of Ebonyi State by the state government under the guise of vigilante stroke Ebubago. As it stands today in Ebonyi State, it is impossible to draw a line between the criminal activities of agents of the state government and that of other groups. Today, Ebonyi State is awash with weapons supplied and distributed by the state government to persons who are undocumented nor trained in weapons handling ostensibly for use against perceived political opponents. 2. It is important to state here that Governor Nweze Umahi's resort to arming talks and cultists across Ebonyi State is his response to the refusal of major political stakeholders in the state who rejected and refused to decamp with him from the PDP to the APC. For this reason, Governor Umahi has decided to procure and distribute arms and ammunition to thugs, cultists, and some of his appointees under the guise of vigilante stroke Ebubago to intimidate and stifle the People's Democratic Party in Ebonyi State. It is for this reason that Ebonyi State has become the first and only state in the southeast to inaugurate and arm the so-called Ebubago. 3. As law-abiding citizens, we have written to the Inspector General of Police and heads of relevant security agencies on the deteriorating security situation in Ebonyi State. In those petitions, we have documented violent attacks, attempted murder, and murder of Ebonyi citizens by agents of the state government in the most recent past. The latest of these heinous crimes is the attempted murder of one barrister Amos Obonnaya, a former coordinator of the Development Center in Ebonyi State. The said Amos, on the 4th of May 2021, had appeared on the AIT Live program, Jigsaw, and spoke on the corruption and poor governance activities of the Ebonyi State government. On the 13th of May 2021, Barrister Amos was kidnapped in his village, Okposi, by a gang led by the personal assistant to the governor named Chinonso Obase, aka Consider, in broad daylight and operating a state government-owned white Hilux vehicle. By sheer act of providence, Barrister Amos was not buried in a shallow grave which had already been dug, but remains incapacitated and at risk of losing both of his legs in a private hospital at Enugu. 4. Only last week, Governor Mahi gathered what he termed town hall security meeting at the state capital, Abakaliki. However, in those meetings, The governor merely used the platform to issue threats and incite violence and public hatred against PDP members of the National Assembly and other perceived political opponents. 5. We shall end this press briefing by inviting the heads of the relevant security agencies to note as follows. 1. That the governor of the state, Chief David Umahi, misusing the Bible security archives to proliferate arms in Ebony State. The world needs to know that this target is not criminals but political opponents. 2. The Ebony State government has distributed dozens of guns, pump action and AK-47 and ammunition across the state to individuals who are accountable to him. We have pictorial evidence of development center coordinators and his other staff cloning guns and other dangerous weapons. We also have audio evidence of the governor's younger brother, Mr. Austin Umahi, addressing agents of the state government on how to deploy their weapons on perceived political opponents. That Mr. Badu, who is the Commissioner of Police in Ebony State, is pliable in the hand of the governor and hereby leaves law-abiding citizens at the mercy of gun-tottling vigilantes to Bubagu. 4. That every effort must be made by the relevant security agencies to recover and mop up the arms and ammunition in Ebony State, which Governor Dave Umahi has distributed to individuals who were neither trained nor documented as to keep track record of those in possession of these firearms in Ebony State. And 5. That the Inspector General of Police should note that Governor Umahi should be held directly responsible should any harm befall any member of the National Assembly. Signed, Sir Ugu, Senator Obinomba, Senator Mike Amanaji, Right Honorable Sylvester Baba, Right Honorable Gadiwe Iduma Ewo, Right Honorable Chukuma Mwazonka, Right Honorable Anaro Nwono, and Honorable Linus Mapwe. Linus Mapwe.
Yeah, Master Solomon. So here we are before the setting up of a Bubagu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, one of his brokers, said that he actually wrote to the Eastern governors. You know, Dave Umahi is the chairman of the Eastern Governors Forum, and most of the letter that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wrote went straight to Dave Umahi, and they never responded. Neither they took action to address the issue of security in the Eastern region. But as soon as ESN was launched, they all rushed and started setting up different kind of security outfit. Now, these accusations are coming out that they are rather using these security apparatus to harass opponents, intimidate people. Now, Sam Egu, who is making this statement, have not even talked about how a Bubagu is going around trying to intimidate a member of the regional of Biafra. He's only talking about his own, as it affects him personally. Mazi Solomon.
Yes, Mazi Pat, you should not expect your language and the language of Sam Egu to be the same, because they are talking from a different background. They are trying to do what you are doing in the aspect of being political correct. So they use, most of their terminologies are being used as a political in a political terminologies. The sentences and the words that are being used in a political arena. But he is saying exactly the same thing that we are saying. This is not an allegation. These are the facts. We have already shown Biafran here. Just flash it again so that they will see the oppression. It's not an allegation. There was video coverage. You play it here. The Ebubagu joint force with Nigerians are pointing the houses of Igbos and Biafrans at large. And they are entering into their house, adopting them, breaking through the window. Mazi, can you flash the video again? Because this is exactly what is happening. So there is no allegation. These are they. You can watch them. They are moving around. These are villages. All of you know the villages. They are entering into people's house. Look at him. Look at the man in the white. He's pointing people's house. These are the job that the Bubagos are doing. They goes into the operation by themselves. There is another one again where they are breaking into the people's house. The Nigerian army in joint force with the Ebago of David Umai. They are adopting our people. They are killing our people. And this is exactly what Sam Egu was saying here. Because they are the receiving end. Look at them. This is somebody's house. Look at what they are doing. They are shooting direct into the gun, breaking the windows without minding if children are there or not. This is exactly what they are doing. And then now, based on the broadcast of Mazina, because why we bring Sam Egu is because we want you to hear from the house's mouth what is happening in Abon State and in all over Biafran land. They are adopting our people by the Bubago security that they throw out. All the police committing communities police they are clamoring for is just to get people they will use as a political thugs in killing our people. In killing our people, pointing hand to their houses, shooting them, killing them. Even the babies of 1 month, the babies of a day old babies, they are being involved in where all this operation is happening. There is no discrimination in the civilians area. That is where they are doing this operation. So now, who Mazi said, so many of us will die in the coming days with the operation. With Mazi, hold on, let me make the point. Hold on the broadcast. Hold on, I make the point, then you play the broadcast. Now, he says, so many of us will die. Who stand the risk of dying? Those who has ignorantly, who has refused to pay attention or to receive instructions, and they went and joined Bubago, they stand 100% of the risk of dying in what is going to be happening in Biafran land. They stand 100% high risk of dying. They are included. Number 2 people. Number 3 people who are going to be on a high risk of dying in what is going to be happening in our land in the upcoming days are those who have stood in ignorance, who have doubted all the messages and revelation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the instruction that are being given through Radio Biafra. Those that have been in doubt, those that thought that it does not concern them. And because of that, they are not receiving any instruction or directives. They are walking all around like zombies. They never know that war has declared. They will put hand in their pocket innocently, walking around the danger areas because there was no instruction. They have refused instruction because they have refused to listen to what we are revealing to them about what is happening. Those stand the 100% risk of being among people who are going to die in what will be happening in the upcoming days. They are number 3. Those who feel he does not consign them. They are going to be victims. Because the police and the armies of Nigeria, they will always look for people in which they are going to use to present to the IG that they are doing the job, the killing that he sent them to do. They must look for people. They cannot be walking around and they will not present human beings that are being shot by human being that they will claim they have shot. They will not present it. They will not present the Biafran that have been shot, killed to Buhari and the IG of police. It's impossible. Every day they go to work because they are into hunting. So therefore, every day they go to work, they must bring the bushmeat because they regard you as a bushmeat. They must show the bushmeat, and they have their gun, the gun in which they are using to profit. They will put a gun on you. They will put Concord local things. They say that it is for protection, is for bulletproof. It on you in whatever way. They will make you look like you are the criminal, that you are the thief, while you are an innocent person who doesn't want to listen to Radio Biafra, who doesn't want to take instruction, who doesn't want to be aware of his environment. You are innocently walking wherever you wanted to walk, and you are not listening to instructions and dangers that we are bringing out to you now. You are going to fall victim. And you know why? When you die, they will claim that you are the criminal they are looking for. You are the terrorist they are looking for. Once they bring out their gun and they place it on you, and their evil media will come and cover it, the next day you will see yourself in the paper and the national news station that one of the criminal and one of the terrorists.
Man, sometimes they don't even need to place gun on you. Ordinary IPOB banner or any leaflet or the Biafran flag is enough for them. Just hang it around you, just like they used to carry out those operations. They kill innocent people, they bring Biafra flag, they spread it around them, and they are justified. Mazi, go ahead.
So this is number 3 people that are in the high risk of dying these days. When you see Biafran program, you withdraw and pass. You looked at us as a miscreants. You looked at us as people who have no job. While you are the headquarter of poverty, you are not better than anyone. But that is where they asked you and they taught you to look at us when we are giving information. So because you have denied the truth, and because you have refused to take instructions, you stand the 100 and over high risk of being among people who will die in the oppression, in the war that is being declared in Biafran land. They will adopt you, they will go and kill you somewhere and label you a criminal, an occultist, a armed robber, a terrorist. This is what is going to be happening. Now, the number 4 people who are going to follow this very death, again, are those people who knows that they are not sincere, that they are amongst the IPOP. They have entered the IPOP and they are playing with the life of our people. They are not sincere. They are sabotaging the movement of the people of God, IPOP families, and they are doing it intentionally. I'm talking of people who are doing it intentionally, who's actually infiltrated into IPOP family, and they are the one knows quite well. They know themselves selling out the IPOP families to people, and they knows exactly what they are doing, because I will talk against another. Those people stand 100% high risk of dying in this very revolution time. They stand the 100+% of dying, because you know why? Because Nigeria can never trust you. They can never trust you. When they get one information from you, they will also join you into the conspiracy. They will say you follow, because there is nothing like I know follow for in Nigerians police dictionary. There is nothing like I know follow. Now, you that are selling your family members, sabotaging by action and by word, sabotaging the people of God, IPOP families. Why you are in IPOP? You prefer that you are IPOP, you are IPOP family. Know that your job there is to play the two-edged sword. Your job there is to be two-faced, to have two-face, betray the people of God. You also stand the chance, high risk of dying over what is be happening, because where you will be planning to sow. Mazi, can you hold the video? Two people cannot be talking, or you will let me know that you are playing the video for now, then I will stop. Then you play the clip we are analyzing, or else people will be getting confused with the information that we are dishing out. So what I am saying is this: you stand a high risk of dying, because where you will be forcing yourself to sell out others, you will put yourself in the risk of dying in the oppression that will be happening in Biafran land these days. So it's a high risk for you to be doing that very job, because onye nenyo isi anaputa. Very, very important. Where you will be out in the night, where you will be out in the day, looking for where to sell your family members, your family members and IPOP family. By that time, you will be risking your life, because so many things will be happening. You will be risking your life, and you will also be in the high risk of dying within this very period. We see what happened last time with some vigilantes. Mazi, can you flash of the vigilante who try to block the ways of people, and they think that they have the power to protect police? Now the police that are supposed to be protecting them are the one that they have gone to protect, to prove that they have muscle, they have power. What happened? The people who did not supposed to die, they died because they choose the way of trying to undo or reverse what is unreversible. Very important. You see how they give their life in Ozobro. You see how they lie and die a hopeless death, which did not supposed to occur. And that is exactly the point I'm making. People like that are the people who stand the risk of dying in this very period, in what will be happening in Biafra land. Another people I want to comment are people who has bad behavior and characters. In them, they have the nature that cannot keep secret. They have the nature that cannot keep quiet. They have some things in them as a sickness that cannot make their mouth close. And a lot of information has been given by Mazi Chinasanworu, said so many people that are being launched to kill Biafrans, they are driving keke. Some of them are wearing the uniform of the youth corpers. They have disguised themselves in different ways. So we are being instructed that we talk less while in the public. Don't discuss in the midst of people you don't know who they are. Simple instruction. But because you have contacted this sickness of not keeping quiet, every time your brain is hot to say something, every time you can never learn and take instruction. You also the group of people that stand the high risk of dying in this very period of time, because you cannot sit in the bus and be security conscious, because you cannot sit in keke and be security conscious. You also stand the risk, because you want to go and play draft and you will open your mouth wide. You stand the high risk because you are not taking instruction. Simple instruction, you are not taking it. If you are such person, the simple instruction, but because you have adopted a very bad behavior, because Nigeria, the orientation that Nigeria has given to you, you have refused to educate yourself and save yourself from such wicked and devilish orientation. You want to show muscle on yourself. You want to show yourself a hard man, forgetting that it is in defense of a coward that you will point the grave of people who claim to be brave. Now you are not brave by opening your mouth everywhere you sit, everywhere you see people. Whenever the issue of Biafra is being raised, you join your mouth. You want to show your muscle and power. That simply means you are doing it thinking you believe in Biafran cause, you are fighting for Biafrans, but you are endangering your life. You need to take instruction. Instruction is matter of stop, you stop. Move, you move. If you are not objective, you are going to fall. You are going to die for nothing. Mazi Chinasanworu, he also complained. A lot of our people who are going to the joint where they are getting smoke, that so many police DSX are the ones selling Igbo India hemp, and a lot of smoke that so many of you who carelessly we thought that this is our joint. We are in control. Because you have refused to listen to instruction, you also stand the risk of being among them that will die at this very period of time. Those who are drinking sachet hot drink, it has chemical that have brain damage. You stand the risk of going down at this very period because you will be a scapegoat. You will fall victims of the children of darkness that are in operation. Remember, in the land of Egypt, before their liberation come, this agent of darkness passed through the land, and the God instructed his people. It is always salvation of people of God. The Bible says, my people die for lack of knowledge. When you refuse to yield to instruction, you hasten your untimely death. The instruction was kill a lamb and the mark, do the mark of the lamb in your doorpost. And those people who didn't listen to that very instruction, the angel of darkness that was passing, the angel of death, he actually hit them and hit their family. Simple instruction. You have lamb, very cheap. Mark it in your doorpost, so that the angel of darkness that is angel of death that is passing will pass over your home and family. And that is what the Biafrans are being taught today. In Radio Biafra, in every other media house where Biafrans are broadcasting, we are giving you instructions. We are trying to educate you so you will escape the death that Nigerian police joint force together has decreed upon Biafrans in these coming days. It's happening now. Don't go to the joint. You are looking for Igbo. You are looking for India hemp. You are looking for cheap one. DSX is now their business. Police forces is now their business to sell Igbo in Biafran land. If you goes about sitting in those joints, you stand 100% over risk to be among people who are going to die in this very thing, in the things that is happening right now in Biafran land. Be very, very cautious. Be able. The Bible says that anybody who will make heaven will be able to have something to sow his mouth. I'm using these instances because this is the word of wisdom. If you want to make it to life, you need to bridle your mouth. You need to find something and sow your mouth. Talk objectively. Where is necessary, is not necessary. Force yourself to keep quiet. Because they will always say to you, when they caught you, that quiet, that everything you said will be used against you in the court of law. So we learn this time. It is very, very necessary. Argument where is not. You are the security officer. You are the chief security of your own life. Don't start bossing IPOP family, operation, unknown government, or whatever that concern them at this moment. Don't just go anywhere and start discussing. Start opening your mouth. You need to follow instruction to letter. Listen more to Radio Biafra. That is it. Now, there is some people are acting ignorantly who will like to carry the data of other Biafrans in their phones. The data of other Biafrans. They save their name with their real name. They carry their numbers. They play. Some of them I know could also write their address. Could also write their address. People like you, I know follow, 2 blood, 3 blood on you. You stand the high risk of dying, and the risk also to other Biafrans. To other Biafrans, you might not be doing it intentionally, but for not yielding for instruction that you are given to will lead to the death of someone. They are, so if anyone is your friend or have, tell the people, don't save my number with my real details. Is very, very important. We know what to do, because that is the best security we can provide to our people this time. Give them information that are useful to their life, to secure their life. And if eventually we get Biafra, we will give you better security. You don't need to do those things to secure your life. But in this stage where we are, you need to do more. You need to have more skills. You need to put so many things into practice for you to scale through. Mazipat, can you play the videos? So, can you play the videos to show Biafrans what is happening in Biafran land at this moment, at the time we talk? Continue to flash the videos, because so many people are joining lately. You need to be aware that what we are saying is happening already. Thank you, Mazipat.
Yeah, we have a situation where the police is moving from place to place, harassing, shooting on people. We can see them forcefully trying to go into people's compound through defense, trying to intimidate, trying to harass, and all what may. So it is important that Biafrans take note. Like our leader have said, that everybody have to prepare themselves. You have to prepare your mind. You have to prepare yourself for what is about to come. And we also have the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu clip where he was talking about the preparation of Biafrans, so that our people understand that we have crossed the stage now where people can just be living as if that we are living in a normal environment, normal situation. No, things have changed. Things are no longer what it used to be. And it's very, very important that we listen to this instruction by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that we'll be able to understand the time we live in and abide by it, take all the necessary precautions, prepare ourselves, because we are in a state of war right now.
Because things are going to start happening in the next 14 days. When it starts happening, if Lefus may talk and yam and write their rubbish. But now that the Fulanis are kidnapping our people, disappearing us, killing people in truckloads, nobody's talking. We must make our land impregnable for them. And that will involve a lot of destruction. I'm saying it live on air so that all of you will understand. To slow the advance down, we need to destroy a lot of things. We must destroy a lot of things. That is how all of you will come to your senses to understand that we are in a state of war. They want to circle us. They're using the Philefus amongst us to try to be, assuaging your, should I say, your bruised egos, all of you, writing no rubbish about one Nigeria. We are in a state of war. They've not declared it, but we are in a state of war. Very many years ago, I told you something that has come to life this very day. That in time to come, that the Janjaweed will come into our land. And they have come. We are in a state of war. Every scientist, everybody must come out now to begin to prepare. We are going to dig our trenches. We are going to amass everything that we have built so far to prepare to repel the invaders. So in the coming weeks and months, men and women are going to die. But after that, Biafra shall be restored. China have agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria. They have also signed an agreement to supply Nigeria with weapons. The Nigerian government recruited 3 hardened terror groups to fight this very battle for them. Al-Shabaab, they are in and around Lagos and Yoruba land. They are the ones to lead the attack against Yoruba people. The main strike force of Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, they are advancing through Benue. They will enter into Kogi. From there, they will come into Anambra and Enugu. Whereas the main Boko Haram front, led by this same government, they are coming from Ebu. But they are placed in Baguchi, they are coming from Bauchi. That's where the armor, that is where the tanks are that they have given to them with which to control people. Because they have promised them the oil and gas and Biafra, and that Allah gave Nigeria to Fulani people. The Fulanis have come to take over our land, and we have said to them that they are not going to do it. We are not going to allow them to do it, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And the sooner they understand this, the better for everybody. Because one thing that the Janjaweed must bear in mind is this, is that this very generation of IPOB, we're not going to allow it. This army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. That is how God intended it to happen. Many of us are going to die, and I'm believing it myself, mind you. Many of us are going to die, but Biafra is going to come, and everything called Nigeria will perish in Biafra land. The world must be prepared for what is to come. We are not going to be slaves in our land. I want to let Katona learn the UK government understands that we have chosen the path of death, that submits to the will of the Fulani Caliphate. Death is better for us. People are dying every day. They're not human beings. People are dying every day. Are we better than them? Those who are dying, are we better than them? We must develop the mindset of the Afghans. In Afghanistan, that is why Afghanistan cannot. It doesn't matter the firepower you have. NATO is in Afghanistan, and in Afghanistan, then says no. You are coming to kill us, but we are also going to die together in the land of Biafra. And in 14 days, it will start. Don't say I did not warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Fulani brought war to our land. All we asked them to do was to leave our forest and go and live in the township. Rent a house and live in the town. Bring them to Nama. Sell it and do whatever you want to do with it. You cannot stay in our forest. You cannot stay there. If you stay there, you will die. That's the only crime that Eastern Security Network country. Nobody can tell us today if their mosque has been bombed by ESN or any church or any village or anyone, nothing. So these people you're calling terrorists, what is their crime? Because they said that we cannot take over their land. That is the crime of ESN and IPOB by extension. As I told you a few weeks ago, the Janjaweed have opened the floodgates of hell. And unto thy hands, O Elohim, we commit our spirit. As they will say in one very popular movie, those of us who are about to die will salute you. Because the land of Biafra will be defended with the blood of anything that moves. Rather than the Fulani to take over Biafra land, there will be no living organism in that very place. I am warning every traditional ruler, every governor, every senator to understand what I'm saying this night and take it on board. And do not quote me out of context. If you want to be a Fulani slave, go to the Middle Belt and join them there. All of you can be slaves to one Nigeria business. You see the land of Biafra, we cannot surrender to anyone. I don't want anybody to lament. Oh, they have killed us here. Don't stop lamentation. All we need is action. Every road leading to Biafra land will be mined. Everything that is Nigerian, whatever police or army that steps on our road will blow into the kingdom come. Very neat and simple. And I will we destroy everything destroyable. I said, when we drive away the Fulani terrorists from Kogi, they will bring in their army. We will kill their army. They will start throwing bombs from the air. After that, they will leave us. I'm telling you, you mark my words, that's how it's going to happen. They're not trained in war because they're not patriotic. These are terrorists. What What inspires them is some stupid quotes in the Quran. What inspires us is the gift that God gave to us. And this land of Biafra is ours. In perpetuity. No one can take it from us. No idiot can. They want to tag the ESN terror group because we defeated their own terrorist group. They have now brought the army. The army we are going to defeat, and they will bring the Air Force. And they will bring them down. And then after that, they will say, come, let's negotiate. Time has gone for talk. We are now digging trenches. We need to stop them. They have come. And we are going to show the whole world now. Okay? Very shortly. The music, the reggae. We'll start dancing it soon. You know, I'm warning you in advance. You know, our people, we are Republicans. You need to inform them of anything that you're going to do. So that way you can carry them along. I'm just informing them tonight. If you think I will allow for you to conquer one and then you're dreaming, it won't happen. It won't happen. No. It's not going to happen. I was say, oh, but you don't need to fight the war. He said, fight that. No. God said we shall allow them to come in. Because it's going to destroy Fulani completely and totally. But the main thrust of the army is going to come to the east, and we're going to kill them in the east. That's where they're going to die. They're not trained in war because not the truth. These are terrorists. What inspires them is some stupid quotes. What inspires us is the gift that God gave to us. That this land of Biafra is ours. In perpetuity. No one can take it.
Mazi, we've seen everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said. You know, when you continue to talk about Fulani, our people seem not to understand. Let's take this clip and see the position of the Fulanis. Let's take this clip and listen to what the Attorney General have to say about the ban of open grazing.
A ban of open grazing across southern region of the country. What's your view on that?
Well, it's about constitutionality. Within the context of the freedoms expressed in the Constitution, enshrined in our Constitution, can you deny a right of Nigeria? For example, it's as good as saying, perhaps maybe the northern governors coming together to say that they prohibit spare parts trading in the north.
Mazi Solomon, is there any comparison between those dealing spare parts in the north and Fulani herdsmen that are destroying people's farm, raping, pillaging, and killing women in their farm, burning down villages and communities? Have any spare part dealer in the north committed half of such a crime? Mazi, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi, go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. We need to understand we Biafrans. As days goes on, all these things will be playing in our face. Now, you will start from looking at the man and looking at all of them who we are speaking after the meeting that the southern governors came together to have at Asaba. Now, I want you to watch. Apart from what they are saying with their mouth, watch their body language. Check how hot they are. Check how biased they are. That will help you to understand what we have been talking about Fulanis wanting Nigeria to be theirs. Now he's talking about banning open grazing. The law did not support it. But my question to Malami is this: does the law of Nigeria, is there any law of Nigeria that permit the Fulanis to graze on people's farm? Since the law permit them for the freedom of movement and association, does the law permit them to graze on people's land, on people's farm, eat up people's crops? Which law permits Fulanis to do so? Which law permit Fulanis to carry AK-47 and kill people in their farm and raise their home? And at the same time, which law permit Fulani people to rape the farmers in their farm? Or is all this thing permitted by the law that Malami made? Or is this law peculiar to Fulanis? But we tell you that all of these people are in the game of the Fulanization.
Hold on, Mazi, hold on.
Does it hold water? Does it hold water for a northern governor to come and state expressly that he now prohibits spare parts trading in the north?
But when the governors came together and said, this is the problem that we've seen, and this is the solution, and they felt, look, the solution will be stop the open grazing across the land, look, stop the transportation by...
Mazi, see how furious he is.
Guaranteed right. The better approach to it is to perhaps, you have spoken earlier about the constitutional amendment, is to go back to ensure the constitution is amended. The constitution, freedom, liberty of movement, among others, is established by the constitution. If by an inch you want to have any compromise over it, the better approach is to go back to the National Assembly. Open grazing should be prohibited, and see whether you can have the desired, perhaps, support for the constitutional amendment in that respect. But it is indeed a dangerous position for any governor in Nigeria to think that he can bring about any compromise on the freedom and liberty of individuals to move around.
All right.
Yeah, so Mazi
Pat, can you just give me a second, because I need to analyze something here.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Because another clip will be coming as well. Go ahead. Mazi, go ahead now. I'm listening.
Thank you. So now I want you to see how biased. I want you to see how biased these people are. Watch their body language. And they are still, do you know where this guy, Malami, lie his argument on this very interview? He's still on that fraudulent census that the North are more in number than the South. Now, anytime you push, anytime you actually tried to say or implement things that can keep the nation together, the Fulanis, they will come after you. As long as it is not in the interest of the Fulanis, their body language will be very hot. You will see the bias in this. There's nothing they are doing, there's nothing that matters to them when it comes to the unity of the nation, or when it comes to the things that will make things progress in the nation. It does not bother them. It does not concern them. What is the position of Fulani? Malami is not including that some people are the receiving end, lost their livelihood from where they are making their living. That some people have places, farming from their farming settlement where they are making their living. Those incident does not concern Malami. That people has died in their while they are trying to farm to feed Nigeria. They died. Fulani killed them. Fulani raped their women. Malami is not concerned about those things. But about is that the discussion and the banding of hope has to touch Fulanis. So he start to make his and look at how shallow-minded he is. He said, how can the northern governors come together band Supia Pass? So he's done his statement to the people of the southeast who are selling their enemy, who are selling it. Mazi, Mazi, just give me a moment. Just give me some seconds, then I will make this point. They now instantly comparing people are doing their legitimate business in the corner, paying tax, paying rent, and the other levies, which their government goes around to collect. Now he started comparing them with the Fulanis that are not paying tax, that are not paying any levy. I start comparing them. Can the northern governor come and ban? And my response to Malami is that if the people that are selling motor pass in Kanu, in Kaduna, and the core Ariwas are constituting danger to the people of the north, to the life of the people of the northern Nigeria, then the northern governors has the right to confront a situation that is putting the life of the indigenous people into danger. They wake up and they ask for Sharia law against other parties of Nigerians, against the South. They took their Sharia law, and the people from the South that in their place are being judged every day by the Sharia law. By the Sharia law in the North. And another thing again is that these people with their Sharia law, they destroy the business of the Southerners who are into hotel and the alcoholic business. They destroy their business in the North. Did the South challenge them? They have their way when they want to have their way. So now he's now basing his argument on the House of Assembly, which they know systematically they have used that majority census to conquer you as a South. If you want, come to the House of Assembly. If you will know whether you will get the vote that will make you to pass through. So for you to that you are suffering is perpetual. You have already been conquered systematically. And this is the reason why they keep saying everybody is not. This is the reason why they insisted that middle belt is not, because they want that fraudulent census to be using it to conquering you. They have more local government, they have more states, they have more representatives, so you cannot scale through in the House of Assembly. That is where they are waiting you. That is where they are waiting all the governors. Come to the National Assembly, and every argument you bring there, we will bring it down. And that is why every Biafran have to rise to this occasion. We need to break this chain off our neck. Is very, very important, or perpetually you will be in bondage. You cannot think or reason or implement anything that will move your state forward, except the one that the Northerners will ask you to do, which they are asking Hope Uzodinma to do today. Kill your people and you will remain our friend. They tell Wike, kill your people, you will remain our friend. All the governors of the Southeast, kill your people and you will remain our friend. The only way you keep Nigeria one, is to bring the war that will consume the life of your people. That is what exactly the position of the Fulanis is. Both them in the government, they are in tether with what those Fulanis in the bush are doing. They are the dancer of those Fulanis, those terrorists in the bush. And the world can bear us witness to this right now. See their body language. See how aggressive they are, because the governors of the South come to say things that can move their state forward. So you will know the position of the Fulanis. They are all together. None of you, they don't want any of you alive, but you are trying to risk your family, risk your village in making yourself to be friend of the Fulani. The way you reason is not the way they reason. The way they see Nigeria is not the way you are seeing Nigeria. You are seeing Nigeria as the country where Igbo Yoruba belongs, but they are seeing Nigeria that is being owned by Fulanis. That's how they see it. That's all. So you don't have any right for anything except if it's being directed by Fulanis. So that is it. So I was telling our people before this video, Mazi, I want to conclude my statement because there are so many people that we need to send warning across. We need to follow the instruction of our leader to letter, and we need to educate our people so our people will not lose their focus from what is obtainable at this very moment. We have shared information as to regard to the position of the Fulanis for so many years now. This is time for our people to listen to instructions. Now, I want to talk about more people who stand the risk of dying in what is going to happen in Nigeria this very period. Are those ndị akpakanti ike aya kalaka dị eli mgbugulo. But so many people in Biafran land. So now, those of our brothers and sisters who are in the core north, who refuses to make any arrangement for their business or for themselves, they also stand the risk of dying in what will be happening in Biafran land these days. They stand the risk in the sense that if they are not prepared where they are, if you are not prepared, believing that they will shield you, they will save you. If you are not prepared, what will be happening in Biafran land these days could also mount to your death, because you choose to ignore the trend. You choose to ignore the instruction from the supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, who has confirmed by what he says in the past being fulfilling at this our days. So many things he said in past has come to pass. So anybody who are still in doubt of the information that he is dishing out could also stand the chances of dying in this very period of time. And I want to talk about people that we will not forget at this very moment of time. And those people are the people who has taken responsibilities, who are assigned into an assignment to accomplish. Those who have by now stood up, they lay their life that whatever it will take, they are ready to make the sacrifice for Biafran to come. Some of us are going to die that way also. So you have to be aware, prepare your mind, and be very strong. That is what Mazi told us. There will be people who also are in assignment, who has already made up their mind that what it will take from them for Biafran to be restored, that they are not ready to turn back. That they are not ready to turn back because so many people who have stood in the gap, who has already taken an assignment, who are on assignment for Biafran restoration. Some of them some of them will also die in this very period. And we own them, and the living, those people who will remain, we own them the responsibility of honor. We own them the responsibility of being celebrated in all generations of our people. Could be me, it could be you, but the rest, we own them the responsibility to celebrate them as the hero of Biafra till thy kingdom come, as long as the history of our people will remain. We will celebrate them as heroes. Every 30 May, we will stand still. We will celebrate. Their grave will be decorated with flowers. We will honor them as our saviors. We will forever remember that their blood was shed to redeem us. We will celebrate them as our hero. We will never forget any of our heroes that will fall in this cause. We will never forget to honor anybody who is on assignment that laid down his or his life on this very cause of restoration of Biafra. We will never forget. The living as then, we never forget to honor you. We never forget to respect you and throw flowers on your grave. You will forever be the proud of our nation. You will forever be looked to as our savior, as a blood that was shed for our redemption. Your generations shall blessings, your generation shall be named blessed ones. Any success we might made after restoring Biafra will be attributed to your name, will be attributed to your positions, because you carry the assignment to letter for sake for our defense. So many people in that position, they are also going to die. But before their death, I am giving them a salute. And the Biafrans will always stand still to salute them, because they are real heroes. They are the real champion. They are the real men. They are the real people who has conquered, who swallowed death into victory, who will tell death that they cannot stand between the freedom of their people. You will forever be remembered and be honored. These are also the group of people that for the assignment they will carry out for Biafrans, they might meet their death in the way of that assignment. But you will forever remain our hero. We will ever salute you. We will ever love you. And any one of us that fall into that very categories, we are saying this so that when there will be no breath again in your body, that you will be sure of what will be happening in Biafran land, of what will be happening amongst our people, that they will forever honor you. We will forever call you our hero. Our songs will be composed with your name. Our streets will be named after you. Our villages, cities, and streets will be named after you. Yes, our institutions should be named after you. Everything we got should be an attribute to your name. You will be rest assured that this will be the honor, because the Bible said it clearly, that those that fought to the end, they will wear the crown of glory. The death of our people. Mazipat, can you address the sound, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
We will ever honor our people, respect them, and anybody who fall into this very category, listening to this very broadcast, this is going to be your portion. We are going to put the crown of glory on your head. You will be our hero. Thank you so much, Mazipat, for giving me the opportunity to express myself. More are coming.
Yes. There's a clip I wanted us to play before we round up. We spent over 1 hour, 40 minutes. And I would like us to play this clip and round up with this clip.
of the kidnappers are Fulani people. But I can tell you that there is no tribe that respect law. The Fulani man respect law so much.
Mazi, I want to start the clip from the beginning so that people will understand what he's saying from the beginning.
Me, I be Fulani man. I can tell you, like Sultan said, 7 out of 10 of the kidnappers are Fulani. But I can tell you that there is no tribe that respect law more than the Fulani. The Fulani man respect law so much, respect state, respect authority so much. Many attacks the Fulani man they do now reaction. If you come across the man, if you want to react, you will react 10 times. Now, what will be the problem? So if somebody now moving one car, if you come, you go just go to the village. Now, what is the problem? Or some people go roast to their car because there are so many car rustlers. When Fulani man they sleep in the morning, you wake up, all the car don't disappear. So what did they go do? They go just go and start. When they go to traditional authority, they complain, nobody will listen to them. No one wants to even understand them. So they become angry. They feel there is injustice. And they go back and now do reprisal attack. And the reprisal will now multiply times and times again. So what we say, they get some grievances inside them. When no one listening to them to somebody. Like, I know, if you notice waiting the Fulani herdsmen do, they know they say they don't live in Nigeria. They say that Nigerians want to kill them, so they protect themselves. I would say they don't believe in Nigeria completely. But that they want to scatter and cut another place in their country. So if I to say that they have grievances with Nigeria and they wanted to come and discuss so that these grievances can be addressed, it's okay now. Listen to them. That's what you need to do. But if they say no matter what you want to talk to them, they don't agree, or there's nothing to do. I would have wanted you to pass through the governor of your state, and so that the thing can be state-led. But now they're going to be saying that non-state action, where they do something where state is supposed to do. But be that as it may, the thing do one good positive. It don't show the problem when they happen where for the man succeed to bring the thing and people don't see it. Many people don't see say he get that same other crisis for Southwest. So that thing na very good. And that is why even me say don't come and say any person welcome to somebody's land. If you did not seek your approval, you must buy land before you can graze that land. Open grazing na. And so many people commended what he did. My only issue with what he do, they say it should end that way. It shouldn't be like now that I send the Fulani, I also be controlling everybody and what they do this thing. It becomes like non-state actor, like the problem what they get for now becoming for South. You shouldn't go beyond what you have done. What they do now good to you, but Southwest have 6. All these governors are very capable and they will do their job because they are elected.
Maz is talking about Sunday Igboho here now, in this case. That Sunday Igboho should not, at the time that Sunday Igboho came out, that Sunday Igboho should not take the part that the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have taken.
You see, the problem where would they happen is say, herdsmen, as much as they are being seen as bandits and insurrectionists, they are also victims of the situation that they are in now. Most of these herdsmen, most of the time, they even work for some people. Most of these people, when they work for the big people, they work for government. You will see them, they get massive amount of land. All this land, maybe nothing there inside. But they allow these people to they move with car. They pay them 10,000 naira a month. They fall to be saying, those people will get those cattle. Make them know, say, now, 21st century. You know?
So, Maz, it's possible that Malami have his own cow that they are carrying for him. So, when you see him react the way he's reacting, because his business is being tampered with the open ban and open grain, just like this, Gaba Amusa is saying that most of the people that own the cow are big men in government. He just said it, that most of them are big men in government. And for you to see Malami react, talking about comparing cow to spare parts, you know that he also owns some cow. They are all headsmen. Let's continue.
Of it carry cow to the move from one place to the other. Those big land where you get, make a ranch for this cattle to stay. Me, as you see it, so when I did like between 10 to 12 years, I was a cattle rearer. I had cattle. And the only thing I look for is whether they had cattle. Now two things, now water and grass. So if you can create a ranch and provide water and grasses, the craftsman no need to travel long distance. Even they suffer. Even the herdsmen they suffer, but they are under pressure to make sure that the cow, when they give them to the rear, those cows they eat well, then they become well. So that's why sometimes they don't push them inside farmland if they don't get the grass they want. So the serious problem where the elite for the country make them come back, let them establish ranching, make government make it a policy that each person that is rearing up to 30 cattle, maybe that's what we call one garki in the setting, in the local FULANI setting. We call it garki, 30 cattle. Any person when they do that, make him register. Make we know the original owner. Make it be mandatory for them, make them go do ranching.
So, Mazi Solomon, we've seen the discussion he had with BBC Pigeon here. And what is your take before we round up?
You know that this very video has too much analysis, because we also want the public to understand that sometimes you might hear a Fulani man trying to talk like he is reasonable, but they are not. They are only trying to play their takia to see how they can grab, how they can corner people's interests, you know, to themselves, and use those people to perpetrate the evil that they wanted. All of them. Now you see him openly defended Fulanis, defended the action of the Fulanis, the killing of the Fulanis, that they are actually taking a revenge. He's trying to explain the nature of Fulanis. They are law-abiding, that when you offend them, they will like to retaliate. So the law now give them the right, give Fulani rights to take law into their hands. That when they want to retaliate, they will do it double. Now trying to justify the actions of the Fulanis by chasing people out of their village, coming in the night while people are sleeping and killing them, both the young one, both the children and everything they are doing. That eating people's crops in the farm, destroying their crops, cutting it down, and all these evils that Fulani terrorists are doing, he's trying to justify it. That is just a revenge. That when they want to revenge. And why is he doing it? Because he's a Fulani man. There is no, they don't have equity. They don't have justice for anybody. If you are not Fulani, there is no justice. You see the IG of police, you see the war he declared in Southeast. Have he done it anywhere else? In all that is happening in the core north, now in Niger State, is under the occupancy of the terrorists. Has he declared what he declared in the Southeast? No. When it comes to their own, they will shield their own. See how he defended Fulanis. But when it comes to the IPOB, he said the IPOB one is different. Now, among the things that IPOB put on the table, which one have you made attempt to call them for dialogue? Which one have you made attempt to call them for dialogue? Amongst all the things that you're supposed to implement, restructuring that fall into the political correct language that all the politicians of the East and other are clamoring for. Have they restructured? Malami tell them that the restructuring cannot happen in a federal level, that it has to happen in their state. They have to go and restructure their state. And we are talking about constitutional amendment, and people have talked about it. Have they implemented anyone? Okay, let's, for the interest that these Fulani people, they want one Nigeria. What are the things they have implemented as to ensure people? Have they implemented restructuring, constitutional amendment? They are fighting it. Banding of open grazing that is actually causing problems everywhere in the south. Are they siding it? What things can you say that Fulani-led government by Buhari has implemented? Even the things that are in the manifesto of their party. What are the things? All his political campaign promises. Tell me which one he has implemented. Rather, the situation has gone worse under his watch. And you are here telling me that this Fulani have pure mind. Listen to Autumn, that anyone that is fighting the Southerners is either evil or he has hidden agenda. And we did not expect to tell you that Fulanis has hidden agenda over Nigeria as a project. What you see as Nigeria, the way you see Nigeria is not the way they see Nigeria. They see Nigeria as Fulani nation, where no any indigenous has any right of anything to mention or to complain anything, except if it's for the interest of the Fulanis. That is the way they see Nigeria. There is no two ways about it. There is so many instances, and what we are showing here is showing you openly. When he mentioned IPOP, they said the case of IPOP is different. The case of IPOP is different. It's not like the case of the Fulanis. So IPOP should be maltreated. IPOP should die. But IPOP are making a simple demand. Nigeria is not suitable for us. So therefore, we want a referendum. How is the case of laying your complaint to government of what you want, of what your people are being deprived and they need it? How come their case become different? Why can't you as a nation discuss the issue? Why can't you as a nation call for roundtable for discussing the issue? Way forward from that situation. But they want to cram you down. The way that the southern governors, they gather, they want to cram them down. Their meeting is rubbish. Their meeting is nonsense. They cannot do what they discuss in that meeting. And so many things. My brother, we have educated Biafrans enough on this very note. What we are trying to show you by flashing all this video is evidence to all that we have been preaching. That is not out of the head for anyone, but for the fact, for the interest of truth. That's what we are saying. Who hate Fulanis? Why? They are human. Why should out of the head of Fulani I will be coming here to talk about them? No, but I am deliberating on the fact. How can I be the head of Hausa coming here to talk? Far from me. Why? I am even living in a country that is not my own country. They accommodate me. So therefore, why should I hate another person? We are not doing anything out of hate, but we are seeing people not living up to the standard of life. And we put our life on line to fight for the freedom. Thank you.
Let's take this that I flashed before so that people will understand.
Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa. The oil in Delta belongs to Jigawa. As long, yes, because we are all Nigerian. So the oil belongs to us all. And we, as Nigerians, shall do everything possible to make sure we take that oil so that a lot of people will have the oil as well. We have the money of the oil. Anybody who thinks the oil belongs to only Bayelsa is just deceiving himself. As long as we are Nigerian, we will make sure that we have uninterrupted supply of oil, so that there will be uninterrupted supply of money to our state. As long as we are all Nigerian. Of course, we are not the same people. We have to understand that, look, I am a Fulani man, and you're so different, your life is different, but then God has made us to stay together.
With God.
With God. To stay together. And I honestly don't mind, even if we're going to pathways, let's sit on the table, and I agree that, look, that oil by Bielsa, no way. You know, I don't mind us talking like that. But as of today, that oil, we shall put everything within our veins, everything with our blood to defend our oil in Bielsa. We will do everything possible to defend that oil in Bielsa. It belongs to the house as well. You know, so that's why we want to understand. This country is not civil war. And that's probably why we are still together.
They talk with so much impunity, and every time they want to make their point, they remind you about the civil war to dampen your spirit, to tell you that they are ready to kill again to keep the oil.
Yes, they know what they are doing, because to be honest with you, my brother, the civil war of 1967 to 1970 is not a good experience for Igbo race and for Biafrans at large, because it's a heartbreak that after you have lost unimaginable, then you still find, give me a minute, you still find yourself back into the mess that you are trying to run away from, and have made a heavy sacrifice to escape this very mess. So it's not a good experience, and they all understood it, that even at the result of that civil wars, so many of our people have equally tried to deny their political front, which they have as an Igbo. So many of them trying to deny their Igbo-ness and all that. They know that we lost heavily. Or even the things that we think, most of us will think we have recovered because we have built a house, we have rebuilt house, we have gotten money or gotten business. We have never recovered from that very 1967 to 1970 experience. Igbo have not recovered. The trauma is still real in every family. We have not recovered. How can we recover? By why we are still finding ourselves in the same mess that made us to go to that extent. The same mess that made us to go to that extent was still staring on our face. That our forefathers, who actually fought and they went through that pain, are seeing their children today going through the same pain, the same frustration. So all that the effort they made, sleep in the bush, go hunger, their cloth tore in their body. So many of them walk barefooted under a hot sun for a far distance, defending and fighting for liberation of their people. And after all those suffering, you find your colleague, your family members dying behind you out of hunger, out of frustrations. Majority of our people buried in a shallow grave. And after all those experiences, we still find ourselves in this very mess. We have not recovered. We still have the trauma of the incident of 1967 to 1970. And that is why we in this very generation have said, no, we must at this time continue this fight. Because why should you relax and say, oh, forget about it, we follow it peacefully? Why you know that we have lost slightly? What kind of life is this we are living? Because even the situations has even worsened than what it is in 1967, which people in 1967 could not be able to bear. And you are expecting people in 21st century to bear it. We are at the time when people are competing with people with leg. And in 21st century, it is people who are riding horses. It is people who are flying with the wings of the eagles. that we are facing. And how do we bear it if you are not able to bear it in 1967? So that is just the thing. They have not recovered. They know that these things, this pain, this trauma is still with us. That's why they always remind us of 1967, because we started and we did not achieve the reason why that heavy sacrifice was paid, and we stopped the war got to stop. So they always return to us to remind us that we invested heavily and we could not even get anything out of it, and they remind us because in their eyes they saw us lost a lot of things, a lot of positions. So they're using it to mock us, and thinking that was victory for them. So if we give up at this very time, it's going to be more shameful. They are to use it to intimidate us more. You are going to face more frustrations, because they can never stop reminding us that we lost heavy. They can never stop. So that is why in 21st century it's unbearable that what you use is to insult my father and my forefather, you are still using it to insult me in this 21st century. That the southern governors have no right to have a meeting and it said the way they can move their state forward. That in this 21st, that we don't have our political independence, that we cannot select who leads us and who is our governors without the interference of the Fulanis. That is very shameful. And if we talk, you will remind us 1967 to 1970 in 21st century. That is very bad, and that got to stop. God share this very program, allow them to hear it, allow other Biafran to hear it. It is unacceptable to us, reminding us 1967 to 1970. It is unacceptable. It's unacceptable in this 21st century. Every one of us must know and listen to instruction and rise up to occasion. They are not selecting individuals. Most of you that are into other pro-Biafran group have jealousy and envy. You want to fight your own people. You want to fight IPOP. You want to label and call them name out of jealousy and envy. What did you gain from it? Are you having fun in Nigeria? Are you enjoying the way Nigeria is today? Why should you fight your people? Look at Fulani man coming openly to defend his people. He's not in the bush. He's in the city. He's a politician. But he also reminds himself that his position of being and living in the city is for him to defend his flatteries in the bush. But our people, they are not doing it. Our people, they are not doing it. You said that you are that pro-Biafran group. So everything IPOP is doing is nonsense. And your anger is that Nnamdi Kanu came to claim credit for IPOP. Check the format of leadership. In every leadership, because I've also been a leader, both in private organizations, that one a leader, you must always, to keep the life of your teams, you must claim victory for your team at all time. You must, before you blame them of anything, you must first of all claim victory. Show them the ways they have done well. That is the same template all organizations use. You must speak to your people, claim credit for your people. That is what a leader fight for his group. Wherever credit is, you must go and get it for your people, because they need that motivation. They need that quickening. They need that force, because they're not being. You must use those claiming of the credit to motivate your people. It is a primal thing, a common thing that all organizations use. Before you can correct your team of what they have not done wrong, claim credit for them. That's how we work. So he is not claiming the credit for IPOP or for himself. He's not claiming the credit because he is looking down on you or looking down on your group, you also have the right to do the same. Go for credit. That is what your organization need to keep them alive, to keep them motivated. You shouldn't be jealousy because of it. Because Ma said, we are engaging American, we are engaging everything that happened. He tried to claim credit. That is the way it is being done. Every organization, in every movement, claim credit for people. Come out and say what your own organization or your own program group are doing. Claim the credit. You don't need to shout. If you have the fact, bring it on the floor. Show that you are the one who did the job. Show how you did the job and claim the credit to your group. It does not call for any jealous or for any envy. It does not call for it. So, but our people will come on Fulani, defending Fulanis everywhere. Even they are not even afraid of you accusing them of illegalities. They will come openly. Yeah, or even taking sides. They will come openly.
They speak with authority because they will see people they are dealing with as weak. They see us as weak. So they try to assume the position of strength. But there was news that came in that from Enugu News that we cannot kill our brothers because of one Nigeria, no matter how much you pay us. Southern police officers are telling the Inspector General of Police that they are not ready to go and fight their brothers. But we've already seen some police shooting in people's houses in the southeast, trying to kill people. So, but in the coming days, we want to see how it all plays out. Maybe those that are killing our people are from the north. But from what we hear, the news I'm getting now is that the Southerners and the police are protesting that they are not going to southeast to go and kill their people. I hope it's going to be true, and that will be a very good news. Mazi, let's round it up, and we'll be back again later in the day.
That is all about money game. Don't trust those people. Don't trust them. It's all about money game. But at the same time, I just have to close by reminding our people that everybody is a suspect. Anybody can play any kind of game at this very time to get at you.
Oh, sorry, Mazi Solomon. Mazi Solomon is out, unfortunately. I hope that he returns back. I hope that he returns back by whatever means possible. So I will be rounding things up. We'll be rounding it up. And I hope to see you guys very soon. I hope that we'll be coming back sooner or later so that we'll be able to also talk to each other once again. I don't know if Mazi Solomon will be able to find his way back, and if he does so, I'll bring him in without wasting time. But if not, then I'll be seeing you guys in the nearest possible hour, any moment from now. So I just want to take this song. Let's take this song before we start rounding up. If Mazi comes back, I'll bring him in. If not, we'll have to see you guys in the shortest possible time.
Biafrans Got Talent exclusive.
As we continue among the very great and talented, the console in the chalice of God, the Holy Grazing.
Biafran warrior, he goes on, freedom fighter man, he goes on, he's our hero, he goes on.
a soldier, and you die like a soldier. You never betrayed our motherland. Your legacy lives on.
You are a gallant soldier, a fervent soldier, benevolent soldier. My brother, you will live on. Because you will live on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My hero.
Because it is appointed unto man to die on the cross. It is the way you die. It is the way you exit the stage of man.
The sudden death is unbearable. I feel the pain from my innermost heart. You just have to say goodbye, my hero.
Ebani no nejebe kasi no to banana. You left us, but you leave us. Oh no no boy.
Yeah, so Mazi Solomon is here. Mazi Solomon is here. Mazi Solomon, please. You went out by a technical issue, so I want you to just give us your final take before we close the program, please.
I was equally giving my close remark without knowing that I'm out of there. So my close remark as to regard to what is happening, what is happening in Biafran land these days is this. I want to remind you that you are the chief security of your own personal life and that of others. So therefore, don't believe any sweet words. We are hearing in the media that even some people are, in the name of freedom fighter and IPOP, duping some Biafrans, telling them there is job here, job there, and they collect their money and they will went and dump them somewhere without them knowing whether to go back or whether to go front. Don't believe anything that anybody is telling you this time, no matter how close. Always investigate matters. Always investigate issues. Don't believe any sweet statement any police, anybody is dropping anywhere. Everybody is suspect. I am number one suspect, and you are the number one suspect. And I must make sure that anything that you are telling me, I should investigate it. I should investigate it. So you must be very conscious. You must be very conscious of this very time. You must know that it is your responsibility to safeguard yourself and your family members and the IPO families and the Biafra in general. Never you put anyone in danger. Always safeguard your people. Defend your people. We are seeing how FULANIs, both one in power everywhere, how they are defending their FULANIs in the atrocity that they are committing. They are very angry when you touch them, when you dare them. But in the southeast, but in Igbo land, in Biafra, is not the same, because the divide and rule is still among us. Some people want to be political correct. They want to show that if it's not their way, it cannot be done. I have also thought about people who are getting angry and being competitive and being jealous when Mazi Kanu is claiming credit for IPOP. And I said that in every organization it happens. If you are leader of any movement, you must claim credit for your people, because you want to keep them motivated in what they are doing. It happened everywhere. So when it happened, don't get jealous, because that is the motivation that the organization needed. Before you blame them blame your team of anything done wrong, you must first of all claim credit for them. I'm also a leader. I'm doing it in my own organization. I always claim victory for my team. I always make claim of victory for my team. I motivate them. before correcting whatever needed to be done. So, my people, this is my close remark in this very program. Be conscious. Don't say you are another pro-Biafra. It doesn't concern you. Every one of us are in this. You must defend yourself. And remember what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu tell you. Always get yourself, your mind prepared. That when it comes to the point that they have to kill you, never you allowed yourself to die alone. Thank you so much for listening to this very program. We will be coming back in my own end in the morning and in the evening of Mazi Patrick. I appreciate so much for you to have stayed to this very extent to listen to all that we have to say. Thank you, my people. See you once again when we come back. Bye.
Thank you, Mazi Solomon. Thank you very much. Thank you for the time you've given to us. I want to say thank you for being here. And I want to say, Biafrans, thank you very much for your patience. You have endured with us. It's over 2 hours and you stayed on with us. We want to appreciate your comment. We want to appreciate your, applause and everything you have done to encourage us in this program. And until I see you guys again, I want to say thank you very much. And I hope that we'll be back. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Dama ya kai ya buga mai. Ya buga mai.